How is it? Do you ever get a takeaway curry?
She's like, she loves takeaway. Pizza, kebab, this chicken stuff. What else have you got? The husband naans,
Yeah. So it's like a Pakistani rice pudding?
No. We do the best rice pudding in the world. This is not rice pudding. This is samia. When we do rice pudding, you'll see. Rice pudding is its own thing, isn't it, Simone? We have about 6 different kinds of rice pudding.
I thought rice pudding was English.
Dream on, love. Explain.
What do you expect me to say?
It's not really a mistake.
I'm not expectation.
How long have you been in England?
Over 50 years, I think. Over 50 years.
Wow. Long time.
Long time.
Why did you move here?
Why did I move?
It's a big question.
It's a big question. Well, in those days, everybody was coming to this country after the partition, India and Pakistan. And my father was in Air Force, and he retired. He wanted to come, so I asked him, I want to go. So that was all of a sudden, you know. There was no visa at that time. Just made a passport and
On a plane.
you know, yeah.
So, did you think that it would be a better life here than Pakistan?
It's a better life, a lot better life. Financially, but mentally it's not a better life.
Cool.
Could be, well, now I'm saying it could be a better life, but I don't know, it was God's will. I followed that path, you know. I was only 6 years old when I left my village. And I didn't see the train at the time. I ran half a mile to see the train.
So what was it like when you came here? How did you feel when you came here?
Because I brought up in an international city like Karachi, you know, it doesn't feel, you know, I didn't feel anything big difference, you know, apart from language and people, they look, you know, they dress, you know, so.
When you came from Karachi to, when you came to Karachi, was it, how did it feel like then when you first came from the village?
Well, we were in Air Force base, you know, the almost whole culture was, you know, European.
So what did your granddad do?
My granddad was in he was in army, British Army.
Wow. So when was that?
It was I had a last glimpse of it in 19. When I was about 5 years old, in a city called Hodgetts in northern area. We were in army base, living in army base. And that was it.
Why was your granddad, grandfather in the army, in the British Army?
It was British rule at the time, and anybody have a bit of ability or who can read and write, the army accepted it. And my grandfather was a tradesman. He was a carpenter by trade, so he was taken in. And afterwards, they realized he's very good in armor, so he went into armor shop and he retired from there.
So it was like making bullets and guns.
Yeah, guns and bullets and all that.
So, like when you came from Karachi, what was it like there? You know, it was after, what, 10 years after partition? 20 years after, 57, no, 10 years after partition.
Yeah, the whole...
what was it like? Was it...
People from all northern Pakistan, they were there. All multi-language, multi-culture.
So you're used to a multicultural...
Yeah,
how many languages in Karachi when you arrived?
Well, they were Punjabi, Pashtun, Sindhi, Balochi, Makrani, Kutchi, Memon, all these dialects were spoken there.
English as well?
English as well. English was, yeah, in the army base, you know. And mostly people watch English film, you know.
So it was a good training ground for dealing with lots of different nations. You were already used to the idea of dealing
Yes, in a way it is, yeah.
with many different nations.
Mm-hmm.
So when you came here, do you think you'd gone backwards a little bit? Because obviously Karachi was quite a progressive, forward, cosmopolitan city. I mean, in hindsight,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think you went a bit backwards.
Yeah.
Because when you landed here, these
Yeah.
people think you're off some backward
And-
place, but actually you
and
came
the-
from a very diverse...
Mm-hmm. And at the time in Karachi, there was a new language sprung up. Mixed language, mixed dialogue. You know, hip-hop, you know, kind of
Like a
dialogue.
patois.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, every, you know, Pashtun do their own, Punjabi their own, Balochi, but the main dialogue was Balochi. Their language was, you know, more like you know, Jamaican. Yeah?
Yeah.
They were blunt, you know.
Yeah.
Because they are native of that country, and they were every way, you know, they have no fear. But we came from northern, bit fear, you know, bit scare, like, you know, like Bengali in you can say London, East London.
Right.
So now they come here. Yeah.
You know, because you came from a massive city, very culturally diverse, just in the throes of a new empire building, which is a new nation. Then you end up here in Lancashire, which is very entrenched. It's like a village. It's like you've gone backwards somehow.
Well, I didn't survive in Lancashire so long.
No.
I came in June, July, in Tadwadan, and in 3-4 months I back to London.
Okay, so
In 4 months I moved to London.
Whereabouts in London were you?
Cricklewood,
Cricklewood.
yeah, northwest.
Where is that near Battersea?
No, it's not, you know. Funny enough, I
North
don't know much of
London.
Cricklewood. I passed through it, but I didn't know much
Golders
about
Green, Cricklewood, Willesden Green.
Well, it's one of
Yeah,
the
North
famous Irish place called Baltimore.
Yeah.
Ah,
Very famous area, you know.
So then you befriended a lot of people from the
Yeah,
Caribbean,
Caribbean,
because
yes.
they turned up from at about the same time. So you're talking about all these people.
Yeah.
it. And this is in London, Cricklewood,
Cricklewood.
as opposed to coming back up here.
Why
to
is it you think you didn't have too many English friends then? It seems like you've been, you know, moving around the nations. Are they much harder to develop a relationship with, or what did you find?
Yeah, it is.
You try and they just don't. What's
it
the
is.
story?
It
like?
is a nature thing, you know. it is a nature thing that English didn't mix with us because Caribbean and we Pakistani, you know, start bunching up together. It's the nature thing, you know. Maybe it's, you can call it, it's not very right word to say, it's maybe it's color, which our ancestor, you know, observed a long time ago, that the color, you know, their color was clashing.
I think their politics was clashing. Because over here, they've been abused by the class system for centuries. And this was at the end of the Second World War.
That was the really main thing.
Right.
You know,
So when they brought them in...
Everywhere we go, it doesn't matter how you tell it art, in London transport, they were so prejudiced, you can't get a job. Doesn't matter how qualified you are. I made about 4 attempts to get into London transport.
Wow.
And in 4th attempt I was accepted as a conductor. Right? And I was conductor in Accrington depot for more than 6 months, and I applied for a driver. They rejected me that I am not tall enough.
What date was this?
Yeah?
Do you remember what date, around which date this was?
It was in 1963-4.
Right.
Yeah?
Because you know they were advertising in the Caribbean to get people to work on London transport.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw that, yeah.
I'll
So there
tell
was
you
a
that
lot.
now. It's after 3 or 4 months, there's an Irish block coming to Cricklewood Depot. He was shorter than me. He was up here. He was driving the bus. So I went to manager, you know, depot manager, that what's going on?
I'm just finished.
I wasn't afraid, you know, I was very blunt like. I went and seen him, you know, and said, "Hey, what's going on?" And he realized, you know, it's something going on, you know. And straight away he took me as a driver. He put me on training.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And after maybe 6 months, you know, I become a driver.
There was a lot of fear. A lot of fear. And a lot of this was, I think, was encouraged by private manufacturers and the government, because it was a way of controlling their masses, because they knew they were going to ask for more money, and so they had to have a way of getting the market to accept a certain price. And that's why
The other thing was, it wasn't good. What had happened is the empire, unknowingly, you know, unknowingly to themselves, have suddenly taken the whole of the empire, who's been apart for 500 years. So Mr. Khan from India had never spoken to, you know, Joseph from Jamaica. They didn't really know what was going on. But suddenly you've just thrown them in London, and they're now finding out, wow, okay, that's what's been going on over there. And the guy saying, that's what's been going on over there. And the truth has come out. And they thought, we don't want them to be cooperating on this level. They're talking too much to each other. Yeah, we need to separate them out. And so they started off working together with each other, and then suddenly the same people who were working together have suddenly become demonized against each other. You know, there was some split suddenly happened in there for Jamaican, Pakistani, Indian community. Yeah, do you want to talk them through this dish they got? Send me up.
the relationship with the land is now changing massively.
It's becoming such a specialist area and it's so difficult to make any money out of it. That you might want to become a chef in this culture.
A lot of things we've done together.
The point of love and etiquette. Yeah.
That's more when he got married.
I was going to say, is that his wedding? Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks more like he does now in these pictures, doesn't he?
Yeah. You see this one. Watch this one. Yeah.
That's amazing.
अगर मैं गाऊंगा आप लोगों को गाना पड़ेगा और ठीक से गाएंगे ठीक है वादा सारे का भी कोई शर्माएगा नहीं सबको गाना पड़ेगा ठीक है दिल भाई सर जो तेरा टकराए या दिल डूबा जाए आजा प्यारे पास हमारे काहे घबराए काहे शर्माए तेल मेरा है मुश्किल ना गंज रहे ना खुशकी जिसके सर पे हाथ पैर दू चमकी किस्मत उसकी आजा प्यारे पास हमारे काहे घबराए काहे शर्माए In other words, human is turning into devil.
Yeah.
Now everything's so much.